Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equities Story. I'm with the great man, the Wolf, and it's just general share advice and not personal advice. And let's get going, Mr. Wolfie.
Yes.
Uh, um, Wolf, can we just have a look? I always like to have a look at the general market. So the ASX is, we've got one more day to go. It's holding up really well. If it ends like this, maybe the last 2 weeks before Christmas could look reasonably good. And again, the Dow holding up, not far off a buy signal if it ends the week like this. And again, the Nasdaq close to record highs. So I think the general market's holding up very, very well, Wolf.
Yep.
Again, everyone's getting a little bit more relaxed about Omicron. Now, is that how you say it?
Omicron.
Omicron.
There was a little article saying that a majority of the population can't say the word Omicron. You are part of the majority, Dave.
Omicron.
No, Omicron. There's no N at the beginning. It's just Omi.
Omicron.
That's it.
That's Omicron.
That's the one.
All right.
There's Greeks. They all, they have to pay for this.
Well, I hope I don't catch it. Anyway, Wolf, just actually looking around the news, the English government's in a lot of problems because whilst they've been telling everyone no partying and you've got to lock yourself up and stay away from your family, what they've been doing in old number 10, having a big knees up.
Don't you just love it?
Oh, there's been
one thing, do another.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, telling everyone to lock up and you've got to be careful. They've been partying big time at number 10. I mean,
Dave, now it's a global theme around the governments at the moment. They say one thing, then do the opposite.
Well, it's ridiculous. And so what's happened? I mean, there's been resignations in government. Then he's come out trying to divert the whole thing, telling everyone, "Well, we're going to have a lockdown." Everyone's going, "Why a lockdown? Because Omicron is like a common cold. What are you on about?" He's going, "We're going to jab you. He's trying to basically do this massive diversion tactic, right? Mm-hmm. I've just been reading on the news that they say he's got to go. This guy's gone. This guy is just ridiculous. Like the whole of the country is losing faith in Johnson, and he's actually looking like a bumbling idiot now."
Dave, I think that the people that at the beginning were saying he's a clown just proved himself as a clown.
An absolute clown. And this obviously diversion tactic. I mean, Omicron. I mean, big deal. Common cold. I mean, he's trying to turn it into something bigger to try and cover his own backside.
Oh, let's not go with a common cold, but at least the early signs are positive that it might not.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, and he's talking like locking the world down again.
I know. He's I agree with you. He's probably that dark sitting, isn't it? It's just one of those. We need to do something over there in UK for you, Dave, because it's just looks like a shambles at the moment.
Oh, it's a total shambles. So it's interesting, but I would say, Wolf, a lot of governments in the world are complete shambles at the moment. Okay, and the reason I'm talking about this is that for me, it is very supportive for the gold price for next year.
I know you keep talking it up. Let's hope.
Wolf, because always historically, gold has done well when basically you've got infrastructure governments are not doing well, but like that. So, of course, from that point of view, I'm interested. That's why I'm talking. And it's just interesting. Another complete shambles, right? It's embarrassing.
What? From one shambles to the next. Okay, what else have you got to talk about?
Right. I'm happy, Wolfie, today because of JLG. So,
yes.
We have a lot of members in this. It's been a great story. The latest on, you can tell us a bit about the acquisition, but certainly they're doing a book build, and it looks to be around that sort of $687. So hardly any discount at all to the share price. I'm looking even now on the bidding; it's looking pretty good. I think this is going to possibly trade a lot higher when it comes back on the market, Wolf.
Yeah, it could possibly pop, absolutely. Okay, especially when you have a look at what they're doing, right? So acquisition in the US, so they're taking the first step to expand. Looks like a fairly decent acquisition. They're talking up the credentials of that, which is about 60-something% EPS accretive, which is amazing, right? In a way, financially. I know there's other little caveats in there, but if everything plays out, it will be quite positive. That's why I think the market's going to take this fairly positively. Very fragmented market over there. The construction experts, that's the company, they actually reconstruction experts they're buying, looks like a nice little start to the American adventure. So all in all, I'm liking it. Of course, there's going to be risks associated with expanding into a foreign jurisdiction they've probably never ventured in before, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. So I'm all for it. Let's go. Remember how Afterpay, everyone said, "Woo, scary going to the US." Yeah, well, there you go. Next. So look, of course, it's not an Afterpay, but I'm just saying, if you do it well, biggest market probably in the world, you're going to do quite well.
Brilliant. Thanks, Wolf. PTB, again, we're trending this. We like the chart. The setup is very good. Another win.
Yeah, look, it's a little play here for us. It looked great on the charts. It had to come up with a pretty positive announcement. We thought, it looks like a good little trade. It seems to be at the moment. Nice little contract just today announced. So for me, that's still little trade is on. So let's see how far we can push it before we have to get out.
Yeah, who was that maintenance agreement with?
A company out of, I think, operating in Maldives, Dave. So a touristy place. So tourist is opening up. That's why they're looking at restarting I suppose the travel industry over there. Hence a little contract.
So arguably, also, this is a bit of an opening up play then, when you.
Yeah. Look, I'd say so. Look, it's in the travel space, so it has to be.
Wolf, PLY finished their cap raise. That's all done and dusted, and again, looks like some decent buying coming in, so holding up very nicely.
Yes.
Now we're going to talk about SNL.
Yep.
Fantastic, obviously looking stock. It's been going through buy signals beautifully, holding trend lines. We put it on as a buy the other week. It's doing very, very well. You're even happier now than you've ever been with this story. Now, there is, before we everybody rushes to buy this, there's a massive problem with the stock. It's very, very illiquid. So please, everybody, just don't go and buy this straight away today. Just put it on your radar. Wait for weakness. Nibble away. Look at the volume and look how you can get in and out of it. But there's a lot to like about it from a fundamental point of view.
A lot. And a lot to like about it from the technical point of view, Dave. So let me talk about the fundamentals. Look, we've obviously been monitoring this story. We've put it on previously as a potential little buy for some investors out there who don't mind their liquidity, because you've got to just keep there. Now, 6-12 months down the track, getting comfortable with the actual company and financials, and just the story itself. This is Dave. This is another little JLG in the making here. I'm really liking this from the point of view that it's got a long runway here. They're in the space of providing spare parts and service to the trucking bus industry. So it's a very niche but growing industry. And also when you look at how the actual, because I always look at the bigger picture, how everything's changing. So you've got the transportation, which is getting bigger with, you've got Amazons and so on distributing things online. So there's got to be a lot more, I suppose, demand for the transportation services plus busing. But the key thing here for me is they are looking, and they've been asked to have a look at and provide spare parts and service for the EV bus space and also the fuel bus space and the trucking space. So that's a big growing industry. We know it's going down the electrification path. So there potentially, could be a nice little path moving for them forward where they can grow even further. The best thing about it, 0 acquisitions, Dave. They've been growing by 20%, but 2022 looks like they're going to grow even faster. So we're looking at the numbers today. This is why today is the day. Is the D-Day for me. You got to get in. Right? You've got.
Well, hold on. Don't say that, because we can't all get in because there's.
I know. Oh, well, take it easy getting in. But today is the day that sort of convinced me finally that okay, we got to get into this story because we don't want to miss out on that little, run up further and further. So we've got growth of about 20% top line. So They come up with 162 million in revenues in FY21. They're looking at 190 to 195 in FY22. So that's about 20% odd growth. Profits they had of about 14 million in FY21. They're looking at 19 million in FY22. That's about 30% growth, Dave. Which means probably about say similar type EPS growth, which puts it on about 20 times earnings in 2022. They've got a 3-year target of about 250 million in revenue growth. I think they should hit that quite comfortably within the 3 years. So that's possibly another big thing. So they seem conservative in nature, delivering all the time. So there's a lot to like about this. The only thing, like you said, it's so illiquid. Now, one hopes with time, they're going to make an acquisition or two, and they're going to give us more liquidity through capital raising. So I'm not scared of being illiquid, but of course, I wouldn't want to have $1 million sitting in there because then it's going to be very difficult to get out. So a small little thing, buy it, pour it upon your portfolio, and you've got to hold it like a JLG as long as it holds the trend. So I'm going to leave it to you now with the technicals. Tell us how you should be getting into this and what sort of exit strategy would you have?
Well, like I said, Wolf, I think obviously the fundamentals that you're fine to get in. So you just got to nibble away between 10 and maybe $10.50.
Okay.
At the moment, there are some people willing to sell at 10.40, but I think you just got to try and buy this under 10.50. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Just be patient, I suppose.
Yeah.
You can't beat this up because it's, like I say, it's illiquid. You're going to, if you want to buy a big chunk, you probably have to drive it up back to $11. So you just got to be patient. There'll be people that want to sell. And like I said, with time, maybe, and it's not going to be for everyone. So for the traders out there, forget about it. It's just not a tradable stock. This is more for the long-termers out there. Those that love JLG, right? This is what I'm sort of thinking. This is the people that love JLG.
Wolf, TLG, Target Group, some more good drill results. I mean, it's not doing anything special on the chart. It's just sort of going sideways. So it's not technically a buy, and really nothing out of the unexpected. I mean, we know it's a good project.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's all about graphite here. This is one of the best graphite players out there, no doubt. I don't think, because first of all, it's got probably one of the most high grades resources out of Sweden, which we've known about for a number of years, right? So they're just reiterating that with the results today. But obviously they're working on technology, in the graphene space, and I think they've got a special name for it, which I forget what it's actually called. But it definitely, a little penny punt or a punt, if you want to call it, a great story you can follow if you like this space and you think that graphene has got a big future.
Wolf, I just want to go from ACCC some approvals today. We've had 3 of them, which is extraordinary in one day.
I know.
But
must have been going. It's time for Christmas break.
I think the lawyers just want to go home. Sydney got accepted. A little bit of surprise with that.
It is. I thought they're going to be, at least if they're going to approve it, there's some sort of going to be caveats in there, but there doesn't seem to be any. So thank you very much. Okay, let's put up the prices for $50 for 5-minute stay at the airport to $100 for stay at the airport.
And CWY got approved as well. Again, if you're in that chart, you're holding it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And SWM, I think Prime TV got approved by the CCC as well. So
all good news for all the companies they're acquiring. So that's excellent.
That is good news. And really, Wolf, was there anything else we missed there?
Look, let's just have a quick look. I think you've covered pretty much everything. The only one maybe I want to have a quick look at, and that's the chart is EBO. I know you've talked about it many times before as a great looking chart, and you want to trade it and so on out of New Zealand. They're making a big acquisition, over $1 billion. And like healthcare,
that worries me a little bit. I remember when Aristocrat did that big $1 billion acquisition, it really struggled for a while.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, Dave, I love healthcare. I remember this. This used to be listed on ASX, and it was very checkered history of it. So I do remember this because I used to be a shareholder in healthcare back in the day. So I do know the company. And like I said, now they're buying over $1 billion. I mean, so private equity bought it out and they're selling it now to EBO. So I've got a question mark over this, no doubt.
All right. Well, thanks for that, Wolf. I mean, at the moment, the chart looks okay. So arguably a hold, but thanks for the warning. If people are in that, possibly if it breaks that 33, 38, heed the Wolf's warning. There's a little bit of a concern on maybe this acquisition.
Yeah, well, there's probably going to be some question marks. So I'd say if you're a trader, play the charts very carefully and aggressively.
Well said, Wolf. Very, very well said, champion. On that note, thank you very much, Wolfie, and I look forward to this tomorrow. We've got live tomorrow, and we love live, guys, so come on, join us.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.